Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Metal Gear Solid. I'm back to play as Liquid Snake and do something with the Metal Gear, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this, but Joe, that is Solid Snake, not Liquid Snake. I'm not sure how you're still getting that detail messed up.
Okay, guys, let's try not to argue too much at the very beginning, otherwise it's all going to go downhill really quickly.
Hey, Joe, what are you doing exactly?
I don't really remember what happened last time, so I'm just going around collecting things and hoping I can get some useful items to make the journey easier wherever I'm going.
I think a better question is, why is there a guy with no pants on in this position?
An even better question is, what is Joe doing to the guy with no pants on now?
Just like the DARPA chief from before, I'm teabagging him to show my dominance.
I don't know what it is about this game, but it really seems to just bring out the demented in you. First with not being able to figure out the main character's name, and now with teabagging unconscious or dead people. That's not the proper behavior from a president.
Nah, don't worry about it. I am perfectly fine with at least playing the game, even if you don't agree with some of my other decisions.
At least you kind of seem to have an idea where you're going. I think the DARPA chief mentioned something about explosives and needing to blow up parts that weren't painted over. That sounds about right.
I'm hoping I can find some explosives here soon. Otherwise, it'll be really hard to blow up the walls.
Wait, why are you crawling now?
Calm down. I'm just being careful, in case there are lasers that will detect me by touching them. I don't want to be too careful when it comes to not getting spotted.
That is fairly reasonable when you think about it. With so many weapons around here, it makes sense why they would want to not have people just walk in and out, even if that is what's happening, and there is nobody around to guard it.
Thanks for having my back now. How do I set off an explosive?
Okay, I just realized the terrible scenario where Joe Biden is in charge of explosives. That isn't something I would wish on my worst enemies, except for Joe himself, of course.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that is a pretty bad situation. I hope these C4 items won't have to be used too often. And unfortunately, blowing up that wall only lead to another C4 and SOCOM bullets, which we already had. Looks like we'll have to blow up something else.
And I see that decent strategy of crawling to avoid laser sights just went away now.
Well, I figured the door was already open, so it must have been a lower security area. That and I forgot about my earlier strategy, I'll admit.
Yeah, who didn't see that one coming?
Actually, I think if I used the thermal goggles I got earlier, I could actually see the lasers. That could be really useful to know if they showed up, and I wouldn't have to crawl like before.
I guess that would have been helpful earlier, but okay.
Hey, you guys can lay off Joe anytime now. He actually isn't doing badly when it comes to playing the game so far. Sure, he's kind of going all over the place, and I can't fathom why he teabags people and doesn't know the main character name, but I'm sure if you were playing it, then you wouldn't be doing any better.
Wow, thanks, Ben. I am glad someone else finally acknowledges what I've been doing this whole time instead of complaining about my choices.
Okay, you are doing just fine, and it looks like you are progressing, so I'm sure you'll be doing all right.
Yeah, but I don't know how many of these walls I'll need to blow up. I can only hold 4 C4 explosives at a time.
I doubt you'll have to do too many at this point. Even if you need more, there might be another location with some...
I suppose you're right. Now I have to choose which wall I blow up, as I have only 1 C4 left. I'm hoping this was the right decision.
We'll find out pretty soon at this point, and even if you're wrong, then we'll know where to go then.
The only way to find out is by stepping in and seeing what's inside.
Am I too late?
Okay, I have no idea who this is.
We'll probably find out by watching the scene more.
He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right? Don't worry, I'm here to save you.
No, don't touch it.
Does he mean all the wires around this place? Seems pretty easy to touch just by accident.
Right. Touch that wire, and the C4 will blow up along with the old man. So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about.
And you?
Special Operations Foxhound. Revolver Ocelot.
Okay, so is Joe supposed to fight the guy with the revolver now? Did he put Kenneth Baker in the trap to begin with? This is all pretty weird.
Not sure, but just keep watching, otherwise we might miss an important detail.
Can live up to the legend. This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver.
Who's they supposed to be? I'm not sure if we've heard of this guy more than once before this moment, so it's not really as threatening for us, I don't think.
I'm not sure, but I think I have to fight this guy without going near those wires.
What's your strategy going to be exactly besides just shooting him?
And besides crawling on the ground like you did?
No real strategy. I think by holding the X button, I can move and shoot at the same time. So if I just keep shooting him while staying on the same path, he won't get away from me.
I think Joe crawled earlier as he was trying to press the X button to move and shoot, but accidentally went on the ground. I doubt that was intentional.
Yeah, that was just a mistake on my part, but I think I'm doing all right. Not too many problems with keeping up so far.
It looks like he's getting away a little bit, but he might need time to reload his revolver, which could give you time to get closer.
Yeah, I'll admit, I'm not as close as I was hoping, but if I just keep up what I'm doing, then I think I'll make it just fine.
At least you're not taking any major damage. Once I saw there were explosives in here, I thought it was game over for you.
Nah, it'll never be game over. That sounds like it would be good to put on the back of a shirt or something like that. What do you guys think?
That's very strange of an idea for apparel, but I guess there may be at least one person in the world who would wear that.
Looks like Joe got it done.
You're pretty good. Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up. What? My hand!
Ooh, that looks bad. I think he might need a Band-Aid. Actually, I don't think a Band-Aid is going to be enough with a missing hand, and he might need 2 Band-Aids.
Can't you even die right? You were lucky. We'll meet again. Who are you? I like you. I have no name.
His name is obviously Liquid Snake. I know this.
I am not sure how many episodes we'll have to make before I can convince you that you are playing as Solid Snake Joe.
I'm guessing never.
Okay, what was that reaction that is definitely not normal at all?
I think it was Donald's reaction to losing in the 2020 election.
Fake news, my reaction was much more graceful.
Who are you?
I'm not one of them. The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation code. What about yours?
Oh, I get it. Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
Ooh, a Pentagon. I think I learned about that in school. That has 5 sides, I'm pretty sure.
I still can't believe you won the election.
Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis's mind probe.
He couldn't read you? How'd you do it?
Surgical.
Okay, we've heard about this Psycho Mantis guy a fair amount at this point. I can only imagine how we're supposed to beat him if he can read minds. I doubt we have any real defense to that.
I'm not sure. I doubt it would be as simple as just shooting him, but I don't know. And not to change topics so quickly, but apparently he read the mind of the DARPA chief, even though he was supposed to have defenses against that kind of ability. That seems like a weird discrepancy.
That would be a weird discrepancy, but if we were told false information at some point, that might explain it.
Yeah, I have the feeling either this guy or the DARPA chief wasn't being truthful with us at some point, since that just doesn't make any sense.
Looks like you're more than even now. His was sliced off.
Ha, you're a funny man. So the DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be. No, that's not what you promised, Jim. Now you want to shut me up? Oh.
Did we hear about some guy named Jim earlier? Maybe it was in the introduction or one of the dozen or so codec calls last time. Maybe Joe was talking about popsicles while it was happening and I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I was only focusing on my popsicle a lot last time, so I didn't hear anybody named Jim come up, if that did happen.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree. But what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
No, not anymore.
What?
That's not very convenient. Are we going to have to search for those card keys now on top of destroying the Metal Gear? That sounds like a lot.
Apparently that lady we saw earlier got them, so if we find her, then it should be easy enough to get them. She is a rookie after all, as we learned last time.
I wonder how she got them. Did she just take them while he was tied up with all the explosives earlier?
Not too sure. She would have needed a C4 herself to get in here.
Gave her the key. Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she is. She's green, but as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
I was in contact with her by codec. Until I was tied up here, that is.
Codec?
Yes, she stole it from the guard.
If only we had a way to contact her with the codec, then she could just give us the card. That would make it really easy for us.
Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry, I forgot. Damn! Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the CD case. Try to contact her.
I'll contact her right away, but tell me...
CD case, what is that supposed to mean? It's not enough that he went full on Joe and forgot a major detail that could help us, but he also gives us this cryptic clue.
And can't he just look at the bottom part of the codec when he tries to call her, since it shows the ones you've contacted before? That seems easy enough for him to do. And who is this Hal Emmerich he's talking about? This is a lot to take in all at once.
I'm sure we'll figure it out one step at a time and not get overwhelmed by the details.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been. The amount of spent nuclear fuel and plutonium is increasing even today.
Oh, good. Now there's old-time footage, too. This has been going on for about 5 minutes now. This seems weird how we're watching this game more than actually playing it at this point.
I'll admit this is going on for longer than I thought too. I was expecting this to be more gameplay, but that is not the case. I can see how this was revolutionary to the people who played this when it came out to some extent.
Did all of the people in 1998 not like playing games and only enjoyed getting called my strangers every other minute? I can't relate.
This does seem skippable, at least if you've played it before, but if you're going through it so you know where to go next, it's a lot to take in, just to have some good direction.
Hey, I don't mind. I'm used to sitting and just watching people talk for a long time.
That's basically how your meetings with world leaders go. You sit down and stay quiet for the whole thing, probably half asleep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb. We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
We need to build a wall around the entire country so no nukes will come in.
No, he obviously meant the Metal Gear, not the wall. How would you even make a wall that tall across the whole country?
With a lot of money that I have and a lot of people that are willing to work below minimum wage.
I don't think that's exactly what he meant.
Guys, we need to focus on the game, otherwise I'll have no idea what's going to happen next.
You already don't know what's happening in your life, so that won't make much of a difference now. Plus, this is just looking at the Metal Gear again. Nothing new.
Oh, okay, I guess it's fine then.
You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business.
Hey Donald, I think you and this guy have something in common with bribes. Isn't that what you did to keep Stormy Daniels from talking about you?
That is fake news, but also it is just a good business strategy, so he is right on that.
Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise.
Exercise? Does he mean like training missions or something like that?
Not exactly, though. Interesting that you mention it. There was a separate game called Metal Gear Solid VR Missions that was released that was similar to this game and was even included in the Master Collection, but we won't be playing that here.
It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me.
Okay, you heard the guy, Joe. He's not making it out of here. Really sad, I know, but we have to move on.
No, I think he could help us if we bring him. I'm not sure what he would do with a broken arm, but maybe he could be a distraction or something.
He wouldn't be much of a distraction for long, since he could not run away from any guards at all.
I guess not. Yeah, we can leave him here then.
I don't think I've mentioned this yet here, but can we get a move on? It's been a while since the game has been played. We're just watching this for a while now. I don't know how much more I can focus on this.
Naomi, you've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
What?
Oh my goodness, can something actually interesting happen in this game sometime today?
What did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
Well, okay, that does qualify as something interesting.
You just had to ask.
I wonder what our team members have to say about this.
We're about to find out right now.
Colonel, are you listening? Now he's dead too. I have no idea. Don't lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example...
This does seem pretty weird. First there was the heart attack that DARPA chief had, then the discrepancy about telling the codes he had, then this guy's heart attack. I have the idea something wrong is happening.
Not exactly a hard conclusion to reach, but yes, this does look very strange, I imagine. Despite the people on the codec calling for any reason they can, there are still things they don't want to tell us that we should know.
Perhaps they don't know either, but the idea that two people can suddenly die of heart attacks within a few minutes of meeting both of them is very low. Maybe they injected liquid snake with something that killed them.
That seems as unlikely as the idea that he is called Liquid Snake, which I've already told you several times, but you keep seeming to go with that anyway.
Barack, obviously you're not getting through to him. I don't think it's worth it at this point.
You're probably right, but that doesn't mean I won't keep trying anyway.
Hey, I got my health restored. That's pretty nice.
It's even nicer that you get to actually play the game again after like 11 minutes of listening to that guy in the same room.
You're right, but now that I'm back in control, I know what to do.
Joe, why are you trying to teabag a dead guy again? How is that a problem that has occurred more than once at this point?
I am showing my superiority, especially after he didn't give us the codec number and instead said to look on the back of a CD case that we don't even have.
Strangely enough, I'm with Joe on this one. It would have been so much easier for him to just tell us, but no, we have to look for another item just to call now.
Oh, hold up a moment. There are actually guards here now. Maybe it was a C4 or that other explosion that got their attention. Now I have to avoid them.
Maybe you can unlock that door while you're here since you have the card for it.
Oh yeah, but I better be careful here. Yes, lasers. I'm glad I expected them and could crawl around them, otherwise I would have been caught. My strategy from earlier was actually right, even if it wasn't at the right time.
I'll admit I was a bit harsh on you earlier. That was good to think ahead. I think we'll need to come back here once we have higher levels of card access, but for now I think leaving is the best way to progress.
Just be careful of some floor tiles. I think I saw a few of them fall down much earlier. I can't imagine you would want to fall down them.
Don't worry, he made it over without issue. He's doing pretty well at this point.
Thanks, Donald. I thought I would get a lot more comments about my being sleepy with my game skills, but I'm glad to prove myself as relatively good to this game.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish the same thing if I'm the one playing the next game in the series, but that isn't something to consider for quite a long time, obviously.
You would probably do all right, but yeah, that's not for a while. In the meantime, I think I'll just get a couple of things I couldn't get earlier and then work my way around to finding out where to go next.
I have no idea myself, so we'll just leave it in your hands to figure it out. What's the worst that could happen?
He could get caught by the camera and die. He could fall asleep and hit his nuke button by mistake, get shot by a guard, quite a lot of things.
I'll have you know my nuke button was taken out. I accidentally almost hit it while trying to install my ice cream button in the Oval Office. That was a fun time.
That's the best news I've ever heard. I was surprised you hadn't hit it by accident already.
Nope, I wouldn't want to be irresponsible with it. Also, I have no idea where to go, so I'm just calling Colonel Campbell at this point.
The DARPA chief and president.
Wait, that gave me an idea. Maybe it's not an item we have to get. Maybe it's one we already have. I know this game has a digital manual that would be the equivalent of the PlayStation case, which means it should be here if I flip it around.
That was the smartest thing I've ever heard you say. I'm convinced you actually took your pills today.
Yeah, you better believe I did. That's what happens when I don't forget to do it.
If only you could operate like this to our country, then we would be so much better off.
Who are you?
I was really impressed with the way you busted yourself out of there.
The one from the prison?
You're the Colonel's niece, Meryl, right?
No, it's not him. Just exactly who are you?
I'm the fool that your uncle sent all alone into the middle of this whole mess.
Okay, guys, I looked ahead, and this codec call takes about 6 minutes unedited, so I have made a decision to speed up some of the less important parts of this call. Otherwise, we're going to be spending even longer just listening to conversations. But we're still keeping in the whole part, just sped up for viewers to read along.
I guess that's fine. It will still allow us to have moments where we listen to the conversation while also not being held back by it taking a long time.
Now is as good as time as any for me to say that I looked up some updates on the Master Collection version. Apparently it got updated recently and now has more visual options to make the screen more clear than it was back when it was first released. Although it's not going to reflect in these videos, just something I found was noteworthy.
Also, I didn't want to interrupt myself earlier, but Meryl did confirm that the character being played now is Solid Snake, as I've said many times before. Joe, did you happen to see that at all?
Oh, no, sorry. I was looking at the update notes I was mentioning and wasn't looking at the screen. I missed it and was not able to confirm your statement is true.
Joe, you ignoramus, just watch the video back when it's uploaded. It's not hard to tell.
I have very important presidential duties after we're done playing today. I have no time for watching videos online.
We all know you're going to sleep right after this is done. That's all you do.
Oh, wow. How did you know that?
I can't think of anything else you would be doing, so that was just my natural assumption.
I am believing more and more that your White House staff doesn't even see you awake at all in any given day.
Barack, was he like this when you were president, too?
Yeah, but since he was vice president, it was harder to tell.
That sounds about right.
Do you know the person who designed Metal Gear?
You mean Dr. Emmerich?
Yes. Is he still alive?
Probably. He should be in the research lab in the second-floor basement of the nuclear warhead storage building to the north.
Second floor basement.
Yeah, that's where his lab is. I think they're forcing him to work on the nuclear launching program.
Glad we have a clear direction of where to go now. We just have to get out of this building and then we're on to saving the guy in the lab.
I don't think we put much attention to it, but there only looked like there's one way that leads to the north of this building, and it's blocked by a large door that we can't open with our card.
We probably can't do much on our end, but if Meryl has some other way to open it, then that would help a lot. Not sure what she would do exactly, but it's not like we have an option.
If she can't open it, then I think the game is over, as I have no ideas myself.
Joe not having an idea of what to do, that's never happened before.
Wait, what?
Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed about being a soldier. Every day of my life, I've trained my mind and body for the one day when I could finally see some real action. And now...
So what now? You want to quit?
I can't quit. I can't allow myself to quit now.
Listen, Meryl. Everybody feels sick the first time they kill someone. Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it.
So are we just listening to her backstory now? I'm not sure if that's really important right now, since Snake is just sitting in one location waiting for a door to open. Meanwhile, any guard near him can probably hear his conversation. I imagine there has to be a better place to do this.
I think I would agree. I don't mind going into development for the characters. It's more the timing isn't the best, though the game seems to stop time for the characters. So when the codec call's happening, it's as if nothing else outside of it progresses in a weird way.
I wish that would happen in the real world. I could just make my president duty calls, and then I'd have more time to do other fun activities like take stock of my popsicle supplies.
To get past Joe's strange ideas of what he does in his spare time, we're skipping ahead slightly to cut down on waiting for Meryl to open the door and for Joe to go further on this walkway.
Thanks for that. Now I just have to wait for this guard and go to that door.
Are you serious? She's calling now?
Snake, I unlocked the cargo door for you.
Thanks. Where are you?
Where I can see ya.
Don't move around too much.
Don't worry, I'm disguised in this enemy uniform.
You won't be for long with the way you walk.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
Oh, great. Now, when the call is done, that guard is going to be right by me, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with him.
This could go really badly and you shouldn't get caught, but I don't know if you can really just go up to where he was, as the walkway makes noise, along with the camera up there moving a lot.
Don't worry, guys. Don't you trust me to get out of a high-intensity situation well enough?
Not especially, no, I don't.
You have done fine up to this point, but I wouldn't say high-intensity situations are your strong suit. I don't even think low-intensity ones go well either.
Joe, I know you better than they do, so trust me when I say absolutely not. This is probably going to be game over.
Well, you're all no help. Thanks for nothing.
All right, Joe, this is your chance to prove us all right or wrong.
I got it. It's Bidening time.
Wow, you actually killed him with no weapons and you didn't get caught. I was expecting a lot less, but that actually didn't go badly, except for him, I suppose, but he's not the main character, so it's fine.
Do you feel any negative ramifications for killing a character so directly compared to just shooting from a distance at all?
No, I'm good. This reminded me of when I killed someone for taking my popsicle when I was younger. Basically, Uglier Joe and I were going camping, and then we got ambushed by
Joe,
some...
you tell a lot of weird stories, but I don't think we can bear to listen to this one. Plus, there's more important things to talk about, like that mine detector you got, which I don't think would have been useful in the spots we've already been to, but maybe it will be later.
Yeah, okay, fine. I won't tell the story, but that's all right. Maybe I can tell it another day when you're more willing to listen to it.
All right, guys, let's focus back up. Joe, you got a suppressor a moment ago for the SOCOM. What are you going to do now?
Well, I think Meryl said something about lasers in here back in the text for the codec. So if I use them here, they probably will be helpful for showing lasers that would otherwise be a problem.
I don't know how you can remember that and yet still can't figure out the main character's name.
I think for those details, we just have to conclude he is a lost cause. But in gameplay, he's actually not so bad, Joe. You've been doing a good job keeping alive and not getting caught when you don't have to. You have not lowered my expectations as low as I thought you would have by now.
Yeah, I've got to admit too, Joe, you're doing just fine. I look forward to more.
It's been good seeing you play. I think next time we'll watch you go even further ahead.
Thanks for all the good words, guys. And viewers, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more as always.
We'll see what's in the snow next.
And peace out, people.